Welcome to Reframed. I'm your host, Brooklyn Grady. Let's reframe your approach to business and life together. Let's dive in. Hello, my lovely people, and welcome to Reframed. This is an episode that I have been dying to record because I have so much to share, and I can't wait to take you guys behind the scenes of my recent Goal Getter Retreat. For those who don't know what the Goal Getter Retreat was, it was a luxury 3-day retreat that I hosted in beautiful Rosemary Beach, Florida, which is in the 30A area. And if you've never been to Rosemary Beach, make sure to put it on your bucket list of must-see places because it was so beautiful. Everything about the little town was beautiful. The people we met were so nice. Everybody that came to help, whether it was the chef or the florist or the balloon artist that brought balloons, everybody was just so kind. And there was access to amazing food, amazing amenities. There was coffee shops everywhere. And the environment down there was just next to none. It was so fun. I will definitely be going back. And I was joking with the girls while we were there that I was like, well, a house in Rosemary Beach is now on my vision board because the area was so beautiful. So to take you behind the scenes of the Goal Getter Retreat and what it was, the purpose of the retreat, it was for service-based business owners and specifically female entrepreneurs who are looking to scale their business, get really clear on their goals. We dive deep into social media, mindset, and strategy for using AI and ChatGPT and how you can make it work for your business. So there were so many cool things that we learned. And honestly, the biggest takeaway for me, like beyond any of the education we covered, was the connections, like the community of the ladies together. I feel like we left feeling so bonded and so connected. We all have a shared photo stream now of all the photos from our time together. We've been messaging each other. I've been talking to the girls that were there, like just checking in with them because it feels like they're sisters now, almost like we all connected on such a personal level. And I think that's the beauty of a retreat. And the cool thing that comes from a retreat that you can't really put a price tag on is the community, the connections that you form with the people there. And you have a chance to get personal with each other outside of the workshops. So yes, we were doing a lot of education and we were learning a lot, and we had amazing speakers there. And there was so much value as far as education. But on top of that, we had so much in-between time of hot tub time, pool conversations, lunch conversations, like sitting in our pajamas, sitting on the couch together. Like there were so many times where I just connected with the girls, and I know the girls connected with each other outside of the workshop and the education piece. So for me, that was such a big takeaway and something that I will always cherish. Anyways, I would love to take you day by day and walk you through what we did, what we got out of the retreat, and some of the takeaways that I have. So let's dive in. So first day. Well, before everyone got there, I came in a day early just to like make sure the house was all ready and make sure like the pool heater was turned on. All the amenities were as good as they said they were. And we really lucked out because the rental house was incredible. The owners of the rental house were so easy to work with. So shameless plug for the Paradise Found 30A house. If you search that on VRBO, you'll probably find the house, but it's stunning. It fits a ton of people. I think it could sleep up to 26. So perfect for families or any sort of getaway. Highly recommend. The owners were great to work with. So I got in a day early. I got to the house, got everything kind of ready to go. And then deliveries started coming in for florists. I had a local florist bring in flowers for the event. I had rented marquee light up letters to say Goal Getter, just because I wanted this fun photo op and just kind of set the mood for the retreat. It was all themed in bright pinks and reds and very like poppy and very, very me. If you know my brand, it's very bold. And I wanted all the girls to kind of embody that too as they came to the retreat, like just this bold next level selves, like whatever that looked like for them. And so that was kind of the themes. So the rental company brought the marquee letters, and then the balloon company came to set up all the balloons. I had balloons around the letters on the house for like the front porch pillars. I had some balloons on the chandeliers in the house, like just to set the mood, make it really fun and festive. I added some little touches. We did some like Post-it notes in the bathroom, some encouraging words like "you got this" or "you look hot," or just like fun things that you'd want to see in the main bathroom on the floor, on the main floor. So we did things like that. And then I just made sure like we went and got groceries. I Instacarted things I forgot, like hairspray and dental floss. And thank goodness you have Instacart there. I'm used to middle of Minnesota and cornfields where there is no Instacart. And so if you want something, you have to order it like 3 days in advance, or you're driving 30 miles to pick it up. And so the ability to just Instacart something was glorious. And it would be such a problem if I lived in a bigger city because I would rely on that so much. Anyways, I digress. So back to the retreat. So we got everything set up, and I was able to just kind of like let down and kind of like get in the mental space of hosting this retreat and preparing a space where the women could come and have this transformation. And I was so giddy the night before because I had been to retreats in the past myself. And I had experienced what that transformation felt like for me and for my business. And I knew that the girls coming, even though some of them, this was their first retreat, like I knew in my head, because I had experienced something in like this previously, that they were going to walk away feeling like a different person. They were going to leave the retreat feeling so lit up, so excited about their business, like confident in what they had to offer and upping their prices and whatever that meant for their business. Like I knew that those transformations were about to happen. And so that night before people started coming in, like I could not sleep. I was so excited. And then the other part of hosting it, like I wanted to make sure I was on top of everything, like I had everything planned. And we also set up all of the swag bags and merch. So we were organizing all of the things that we got from sponsors, and shout out to our sponsors. We had amazing sponsors for the retreat. Some of their sponsors included a Little Words Project. We all got these adorable bracelets, which I'm actually wearing now. If you can see this on, if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're just listening to it, I'm wearing them. And the 3 that we got from Little Words Project that were sponsored were Keep It Real. Because I just wanted that reminder for the girls to always be authentic and keep it real. And this is actually part of my personal brand. And I also sponsored sweatshirts for the girls. So they got sweatshirts that said keep it real on it. And just wanted that reminder again of like the importance of being authentic and being yourself. And especially we were talking about social media a lot at the retreat, and the idea of like putting on this front. And it's so easy to compare yourself and feel like you need to show up as a certain person instead of just keeping it real and being yourself. So that was one of the bracelets. So the second bracelet says, "You got this." And this was just simply a reminder for the girls to stay encouraged and stay positive, and make them feel capable and remind them of the baddie that they are. And then the last bracelet, of course, says "Goal Getter," because that's the whole name behind the retreat and the idea of being a goal getter and what that means for your business. Like that you are dedicated to pursuing your goals, you're capable of pursuing your goals, and you're worthy of pursuing them. That it's not a bad thing to run after your goals, and you can wear that title proudly. So those were the 3 bracelets that Little Words Project sponsored. Shout out to them. Thank you so much for sponsoring those. And that was just such a fun moment too during the retreat when I gave all the girls their bracelets and they were all putting them on, and we took some photos together with them. And it just was kind of this bonding experience for all of us. And everyone was so excited. And so that's a little story on the bracelets. A couple other sponsors that we had Aubrey Says by Chelsea DeBoer. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her brand, but that is her personal like home brand that she has. And she sponsored these adorable like Get Ready With Me headbands. They're black and white checkered. And if you follow me on socials, you've probably seen me wear them in stories, like when I'm getting ready, but they're like a terry cloth, cute little like scalloped edged headband. So shout out to Chelsea. Thank you so much for sponsoring those. We also had an amazing Lume Cube light, like ring light and setup sponsored as well. And it was incredible for the girls to be able to use that because the lighting on it was next level. And the ring light, actually, you can set the Kelvin. So you can decide if you want it warm, natural light, like whatever light you want it to be. And then it also is rechargeable. So you don't have to have it plugged in the whole time to make it work. So shout out to Lume Cube. Thank you for that. That was so useful for our retreat. A couple other sponsors we had were Masa Chips, which are made from beef tallow, and they're super healthy chips, and they're also delicious. So we had over 30 bags of Masa chips sponsored, and I wish I could have brought them home on the plane. Like I wish I had more luggage space because they were so good. Another one of our sponsors was Pop Singles, and they are a local pop company based out of Pennsylvania. Pensacola, Florida, and they make all natural sodas. And so we had all these different kinds of sodas sponsored by them. There was like liquid sunshine, there was a blueberry flavor, there was a pineapple flavor, and they're all made with natural fruit juices. So those were delicious. We also had some amazing drink pouches sponsored by Drink Pouch Party. So they were really cute, little colorful refillable drink pouches. So you could put water in them, you could put juice, you could put drinks, whatever you wanted, and then reuse them. So those were super fun. Another sponsor was Barefaced. So they sponsored these amazing eye patches and a case for the eye patches. So they're reusable eye patches. So the idea is that you can put any eye cream with them and then use the eye patch and then just wash it off and it's good to go. It's supposed to be reusable for up to 3 years. So those were an amazing item too for the girls. And another sponsor we had was Persnickety Box. So if you're not familiar with Persnickety Box, they are a subscription box service that makes it super easy for you to print your photos from your phone. And I don't know about you, but I have like my camera roll, I think it's over like 60,000 now on my camera roll. It's getting insane. But they make it super easy to just swipe the photos you want. And so you can get like up to 30 images a month. And they come in this cute little box and they're really high quality prints. And they're actually made, they're Giclée prints, meaning that they're super high quality and you can literally douse them in water. Or I've seen a video of somebody like pouring Diet Coke on them and you can dry them off and they're good to go. Like they won't be damaged by water. It's not like an inkjet printer. It's an emulsion printing process. So it's like a darkroom process, but for prints. So super high quality, super easy to use. So they gifted each attendee a free box of 30 prints. So they could use them to print photos from the retreat to remember the experience or use them with holiday time coming. They could print something from their family too. So that was kind of like a little look of some of the sponsors we had. And shout out again, thank you to all of the generous sponsors for sponsoring the Goal Getter Retreat. Now let's dive back into day one of the retreat. So day one, all the ladies arrived and they came in to a VIP pool party. So if you haven't seen pictures of the retreat yet, make sure to go to my socials and check them out. There is a separate Instagram page for the retreat now. It's the @GoalGetterRetreat. And I did this because, spoiler alert, we've got more retreats up our sleeve. So if you're interested in ever attending one or just kind of following along and keeping tabs on the retreats, make sure to go follow that page. I'll make sure to put it in the show notes as well. But that's an Instagram page that I've started just for the retreat. And the house was just stunning. Like they had this it was like a 0 depth pool. So you could walk into it and it was massive. And they also had a hot tub attached. So we spent a lot of time in the pool and the pool was heated. So it was super comfy. So we all hung out for a few hours for the pool party. They got their gift bags of all their goodies. And something else that was sponsored was Dock and Bay beach towels. So they're quick dry beach towels. And Hazelkin & Co., which is a Minnesota-based boutique. They're amazing. They did embroidery on them. So every towel had the girls' names on them and they were pink and white striped. They were so cute. So we used them the entire retreat, but they opened those up, had those for the pool party. We had like fruit skewers and charcuterie board and drinks and snacks out for them and just kind of had a casual atmosphere for everyone to get to know each other, get in the pool, relax, and just really like get in a good mindset before we started the workshops in the retreat. So then that evening we had a delicious catered dinner and the girls were teasing me because I was calling it supper because I'm from the Midwest. I don't know if any of you I don't know if you guys ever call it supper, but it kind of just slips off my tongue sometimes that I call it supper. But anyways, we had delicious catered supper. I can't even remember all the meals, honestly. I know we had like shrimp tacos for a meal. We had a like caprese salad with grilled chicken for a meal. We had some kind of fish too. It's it's leaving my mind right now, but I think it was grouper. That's what we had. So we had that for supper. And then we just hung out. We all got cozy, put on our matching sweatshirts. We were all in our pink girly Keep It Real sweatshirts. And it was just so fun. It was a great way to ease into the retreat and get everybody comfortable. And especially in that environment, like you're coming in and you don't know what to expect. You don't know who else is going to be there. You don't know what it's going to feel like. It might feel kind of intimidating. I had one of the girls tell me that the night before she was talking to her husband and she was saying, she's like, maybe I shouldn't go. Like she was afraid that coming to this retreat, like even though she'd already booked her spot and stuff, she was super hesitant. And I think that's something worth sharing because I think we've all been there where we either join a retreat or a workshop or sign up for something and we're really excited about it, but then our fear of the unknown creeps in and stops us. And it's all in our head, right? It's all in our mind telling us like, well, what if I'm not pretty enough? What if I don't fit in? What if I don't like the girls? Like all these questions start spinning through your head and can really keep you from what's on the other side and the reward of it. So I was so happy that she shared that with me. And after after that first night, like she was fully settled in and comfortable being there. And the group really was such an amazing group of women. And from the get-go, I just made it very clear too, even before we got there, we actually had a group Zoom call 30 days before the retreat just to get to know everybody. And we had a little bit of pre-retreat homework. And one of the things I said to them on that call was just like, I'm sure we've all been in rooms where we don't feel like we fit in or that we are made to not feel worthy of being there. And I wanted them all to feel like coming to the retreat that they were worthy of being there, that they were worthy of a seat at the table, and that there would be respect amongst all of us and no clickiness and no judgment, regardless of where you were in your business. And so we came into the retreat with that kind of mentality, and it really was such an amazing group of women. I think we left there all cheering each other on, all wanting everybody to succeed. Everybody was like referring each other's services to their friends and seeing like who they could connect them with to help them get more business and help them succeed. And it was really such a transformative experience. So anyways, back into day 2 now. So we all went to bed way later than we should have. We stayed up really late in the hot tub, but it was awesome. Like we all were just having amazing conversation and connecting with each other. And so then day 2, running on a little sleep, we woke up and jumped right in. So I started the group off with some goal setting activities, and we walked through where we wanted to be in 6 months. Like, what does our business look like? Who do we want to be surrounded by? And just helped to get some clarity around where we wanted to take our business. And this was kind of the first exercise to let them dream as big as they wanted. Like, we were in a safe space where big dreams were normalized and making money was normalized. Wanting more for your life was normalized. And so it was just a really open environment for the girls to be able to dream. So that's how we started it. And then our first guest speaker, who was Jenny Maroney, she is incredible. She came and spoke to the girls all about using AI and ChatGPT in their business and how they can utilize that tool to speed up the processes. And so that was really amazing. And then Dustin Mushinsky was there, who is a mindset coach. And I think she lit a fire under every single one of us. I'm not kidding. I have loved working with Dustin, and she just has a way of lighting up the room. Like, truly, I don't know how else to describe it, but she came in and she helped the girls work through so many mindset blocks. And then we had a little break for lunch, and then we broke into small groups. So that day 2, the breakout groups, I swear, is where the magic happens. I've been to retreats before where we had these small breakout rooms, and that was where I felt like I gained the most. And so when I created this retreat, I specifically wanted time for the girls to separate. So we broke up into groups of 2 and 3. So it was super intimate, and I had time with each coach, almost one-on-one really, to work through whatever they were struggling with, whether it was strategy and what they wanted their business to look like, whether it was like mindset work and working through blocks in their life, or whether it was like pricing and how do I profitably price myself and what does that look like? And So we really dug in. I think that was the first afternoon. I know tears were flowing. Dustin had girls crying on the couch. I had girls like super excited about upping their prices. Jenny had people having light bulb moments about like the possibilities of what the next stage of their business could look like. Like it was just so good. And so then that afternoon, when we wrapped things up, we gave everyone their goal getter bracelets and had a delicious supper again that was catered, and then enjoyed the hot tub. And again that night we spent way too much time in the hot tub, and we just had a blast. I think we all got out with like fingers that were like prunes because we were in the water for so long. But we took full advantage of that hot tub. And so then that was day 2. So then day 3, we woke up and we did it all over again, but it was even more powerful. I helped the girls work through social media strategy, and we started just kind of at a blank slate of like analyzing where they were at and where they wanted to go, deciding on content pillars and how to post, and helping work through those mindset blocks of showing up online. And then after having that day 2 under our belt of working through our mindset blocks and messaging and strategy, it was a lot easier to tackle social media because they had a clear idea of who they wanted to be speaking to and who they wanted to be serving. So then on day 3, we had another guest come in, Taylor with Big Mouth Copy, and she is a professional copywriter and she's done copy for me in the past. She's amazing. So she came in and helped the girls figure out what their special sauce was. And this is super powerful for them because they really zoned in on their messaging and who they were speaking to and how to convey the message that they wanted to with the most powerful words possible. So I swear Taylor is like a words wizard. She's been a guest on the podcast before. And so if you listen to that episode, if not, I'll put that episode in the show notes as well. But she's just a powerhouse with writing. And so then she did some copywriting, a workshop with them. And then Dustin jumped back in and did some more mindset work and just kind of recentered the girls on how they can have messaging that slaps. And that's her whole thing. Like, I'm not coining that phrase because I'm not staking claim to that at all. That's a Dustin phrase. But the importance of having messaging that slaps is the game changer. Like having messaging so dialed in, how she explained it is like when you talk to your ideal client or when they come across any of your content or your emails or read your website, that they can't help but think like, oh my goodness, she is in my head. So it's just super direct messaging, and that was really powerful for all of us. So that was day 3 in the morning. And then we had lunch, and then we broke into small groups again. So each of the girls got to work with Taylor one-on-one, writing either a web page of copy or working on their social media, whatever they needed help with for copy. She sat and worked with each person one-on-one. And then while they were doing that, the other girls were in a small group with me, and we were planning out their social media. So we were giving them prompts and a calendar of exactly what they could post, what they could say to make it really easy. And then we went back to what Jenny taught about AI and leveraging ChatGPT. And so we were going through and giving Chat, or G as Jenny calls it, prompts. So how could you generate prompt ideas for your social media that fit your target audience and fit your messaging? And so it helped the girls with wondering like what to post. And it just gave them lists of like 10 to 20 ideas of either pain points or like the pleasure marketing where you speak to the desired outcome that they want. So that was our small group. And then while that was happening, the third group got to take brand photos with Rhody Ray. If you guys don't follow her, she is incredible. I'll put her handle in here, but it's at Rhody Ray, RHODYRAY. And she's just a gem of a human, and she's also extremely talented. So she did editorial brand photos for each of the girls. And she also captured all the behind the scenes of the retreat for me while it was going on. So if you see any photos from the retreat, they were all her because she was the one with the camera the whole time. I was very removed from my phone and camera. I don't even think my camera came out of its bag while I was there because I was so busy with everything else. But shout out to Rhody. So she did brand photos then for each of the girls. and they were just epic. But her ability to capture women and their brands is just like so effortless. And so anyways, that's what the girls got then on day 3 in the afternoon. And then in the evening, us girls decided to go down to the beach. We were just a minute away from the beach. So we hopped on the golf cart and drove to the beach, and we had the most iconic sunset of all time. I'm not even kidding. Go look at my stories to look at this sunset because it was incredible. It was like cotton candy sky on a next level. So we all hung out there. A couple of the girls got really brave and decided they wanted to go swimming in the ocean. So we were cheering them on, and they took a deep dive, and it was just a really fun evening. The sand, like the beaches at Rosemary Beach are like the nicest beaches I've ever been on. Like the sand is so soft. Everything's really clean. So it was just really fun to hang out at the beach with the girls. So then we came back to the house after that, and we had a private in-home chef that night, and the meal was to die for. The meal was so delicious. The first course was a butternut squash salad, which I never in my wildest dreams would have ever put squash on a salad. But it was so good. It had just like a little hint of sweet, and I think there was like some mint in it too. And oh, it was so delicious. So that was the first course. The second course was seared scallops with couscous and I'm saying this like so basic. The words honestly on the menu, I couldn't really pronounce. So to be quite honest, there was a lot more fancy terms for each of these items, but they were so good. So that was the second. And then the third course was king salmon and some like green bean and parsnip puree. And oh my goodness, it was so good. Like I'm drooling just thinking about it. Like my mouth is salivating. And then the fourth course, the dessert, was a blackberry key lime pie. So, I mean, you don't even need explanation for that, but it was so good. So that was the meal. And then of course, what were we going to do that evening? Get in the hot tub, right? Like we needed one last night together in the hot tub. So we all got our swimsuits on and head to the hot tub and just had a nice chill evening, kind of soaking it all in and just like preparing, like we knew we were leaving the next morning. And so we just decompressed, kind of were processing through everything that we learned. And then day 4 in the morning, we got up and we had a coffee roundtable. So we all shared our next 3 things we were doing when we left the retreat. So we had a tangible list of the next goals and action steps that we were taking. So for some girls, it was adjusting pricing. For others, it was stepping into a new offer or niching into a certain category to serve clients better. Everybody had a really specific idea of what they were doing next. So then we all said goodbye, and it was a sad day, and headed off to the airport. And most of us were flying home, so hopped on a plane and headed home. So that was kind of the rundown of the retreat. It was incredible. And as I mentioned, if you didn't catch it when I was talking here, but there is going to be another Goal Getter retreat. Like we're not just stopping with one, and it was so good that we're going to do it again. So I've got another one up my sleeve. If you are interested in hearing more about that, you can just drop me a DM on Biz with Brooklyn Instagram, which is BIZ with Brooklyn, or Goal Getter Retreat account, which is again at Goal Getter Retreat. Super easy. And in addition to that, if for some reason you watched all this or you listened to this and you are wanting to host a retreat yourself or an in-person event, I've also got something for you because we've got an incredible mastermind starting in January, and I'm going to teach just a handful of women exactly how to do that. I am taking you behind the scenes of how I planned the retreat, how I branded it, how I chose a name, how I chose a location, the pricing and budget items for each thing that I had at the retreat, how to make a solid profit off of it. My goal for you is that you'd be able to profit at least 10 to 20 grand off of your first retreat, be able to land sponsors. We landed over 10 grand worth of sponsors. So I would love to teach you how I did that so you could do the same, and that you could launch it within 3 months. So the program is going to run from January to March, and I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to get your retreat or event off the ground, get it booked out and happening in 2025. So if that interests you, please drop in my DMs on Biz with Brooklyn. And again, that's BIZ with Brooklyn, just one in on Brooklyn. And I cannot wait to help you grow your business and get a retreat up and going or get an event going. Whatever it is that's on your heart that you want to do and accomplish in 2025, I would love to help you do that. So thank you again for joining me and listening to this episode of Reframed. And I can't wait for you to join us next time.